Welcome, welcome. Oh man, I haven't went live in a while. To be honest, I don't know why I haven't went live in a while. Welcome, welcome in. And if you like the filter, please tell me. I want to know if I'm gonna keep it or not. I don't know if the lighting is just right. Maybe it's a little too much. Maybe I'm like a little too close. Any ideas of what I should add? Hmm. Temple of Mind Control Machine? Nah. I was added a co-worker. It's great to be live again. I miss it. Yeah, Temple of Mind Control Machine. What do you think? Does that work? Or can y'all think of something funny to put together? Dr. Gian. Now with added doctor. Nah, attack on. Hmm. Hmm. Oof. Well,
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
yeah, I already
Never
played
in
there
all
a
his
few
years at the
times.
company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Here's one of the endings.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days.
So many
Had
endings I
years
don't
gone
know
by?
about.
He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
Huh?
Here it comes.
But then, there we go. That's an ending. The end is never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
The bucket. There's so many things I don't know about.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope, still nothing. Every door is locked.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Well, okay, let's go.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Wow. Oh, what the?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay,
I like this game.
From the top.
Fire, what does that mean? What is this? Man, I haven't went live in a while.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, the bucket is gone? What's that mean? Wait, what did I do? Let's try wandering off track again.
When Stanley... Wait.
Whoa, what
Wait,
the?
what? No,
Okay, that's new.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh,
I see a door behind
change?
there.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then.
Okay, this is new.
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay, obviously I can't go there. Where should I go? There's so many places to decide. Should I go this way? Or should I go this way? Anybody in chat, please say something. I don't know where to go.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you
Why
there
not?
definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Wait, huh?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder what's gonna happen this time. What the? There's no doors at all.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I
Yep.
might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, this is new. I like this.
Aha!
Whoa,
I
what the?
knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Oh my god, I'm not playing Minecraft. I'm
No,
playing
wait,
this.
never
And I'm
mind.
live
Not the
streaming.
story. Okay, let's head back
I'm
the
not gonna
other
end
way
it.
and retrace our steps.
If you wanna invite me to a party, we could talk. Whoa, what
Now
the?
well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Wait, what? What the?
All right,
Okay,
I've got
that's
a
new.
solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. Hopefully the... What the? Okay, that's new. I wanna know. Us will never know a thing. Solitaire. Wow.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
Earthquake, speaking head, speaking head, speaking head, speaking head, fire, 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 fire.
How could
Or
you?
to put it another
How
way,
could you,
is the
man?
story of no destination still a
I
story?
trusted you, man.
Simply by the act of moving
You
forward,
know what?
are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself?
Yep.
Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was
Finally,
going with all that. You know
back
what?
to live
I think
streaming.
what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
It feels good to be back. I have no idea what I'm doing. There's no point everywhere.
Big back, speaking head,
Oh, well,
speaking head, speaking
I
head,
am
speaking
not a
head,
big
fire,
back.
fire,
Shut
fire,
up.
fire, fire.
Wait,
Come
we're back at the office?
Huh?
No.
Kids,
Line,
I'm not
you
making
do
any
know we're
sense.
looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh,
What the, again?
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted
Well,
you, after everything we've been through...
Tsunami, speaking head, speaking head, speaking head, speaking head, speaking head, fire, 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 fire,
How
fire,
could you?
fire, fire.
No. Okay.
You know what, Stanley?
Well,
I
what's
say
that?
forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't
Yeah.
we make up our own story? Something exciting,
true,
daring, mysterious. Ooh,
I like
this all
this game
sounds
a lot.
perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering
Ghost,
in?
I suggest you try it.
How about
The Stanley
this direction?
Parable. It's pretty good. Wait, what direction? That's just the... Oh, that direction.
Vicky,
Okay.
speaking head, speaking head, speaking head, speaking
I am not a
head,
biggie.
fire, 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 fire.
Just me and
Shut
Stanley
up.
forging a new path, a new
I
story.
already tried it.
What do you want our story to be?
Pretty good, right?
Go wild.
I like this.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
It's pretty good.
Good game.
Oh, no,
Good
not
game,
you
more like
again.
great game.
Stanley, I'd
The
also like to
greatest.
veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Huh? Okay, that's impossible. Well, what
A
the...
choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Avatar, the last chair breaker.
Circles for a minute.
You're the worst.
Okay,
I
so I
swear.
know that each door has to lead
I
somewhere,
swear you're the
which
worst.
means that somewhere, the place where we're
Wow.
trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So
Okay, that's
starting from the
confusing.
right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
Village.
And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all
Good
accounts,
one.
the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Well... What the...
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
Uber, I gotta eat.
Telling me that's what this is?
Uber.
It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Well,
So
this
now,
is so
according to the
crazy.
schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
Well,
Why
that's
don't I
crazy.
get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want
Guys, be nice to him, has got a lot on his plater.
this. I won't
Please
restart the game.
asterisk.
I won't. do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Well...
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Whoa, what the... Hold on, what does this mean? Okay, that was confusing. There's the balloons again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
The Adventures of Stanley and Bucket.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Well.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because
is it just me, or did he destroy my chair?
They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music
Do you play
as well.
VR?
Sometimes.
See, I play it too.
I play VR
Now,
sometimes.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you
I like all
remember
the
all
time.
those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
What the...
It's as classic now as it was back
Old cat.
then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content.
I never said I
exactly like
live
this.
streamed it.
But
I just
if we
said I
want to
played
do
it.
that, you're going to have to give something up.
Cap skull.
For real.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
Cap skull skull.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
very
good
proud to
one.
introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful
Should I
new
do
addition
it?
to the rich
Should I
lore
throw
of the
my
Stanley Parable.
my friend
True,
Bucket
it also was
into
not
an
in the original
incinerator?
game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's
I
been
gotta
part
go,
of the
sadly.
cast
Bye
all
bye,
along.
buddy.
Don't you
Victory
agree?
hand, victory hand, victory hand.
The bucket
Guess
must
what
go.
the
Bucket.
Destroyer does? Surely you
Oh,
don't need me
come
to spell it
on.
out.
That's not nice.
Chaos control.
No?
Now, Stanley, say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Oh my... Huh?
Now listen to me. It's
I
crucial
can't.
that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
It won't
I
let me.
hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to
It
join
won't
the
let me.
pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see,
Yeah, I
if
see
you were
one
to
let me.
really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its
Yep, it won't
desire
let
to
me.
crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's
Yep,
really like
that's it. It's
10
about to explode.
personality
I don't
traits.
know.
What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise
Okay.
the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket
I'm
Destroyer
trying
is getting
to.
very upset now. You'll have to
I'm
hurry
trying to.
and feed it. We
It's
can't
not
get back to
working.
the classic Stanley Parable
It's
characters
not
like the
working.
Adventure Line or the
It's
Bucket
not
Destroyer until you
working.
crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it,
I'm
the
trying
fans,
to.
Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Ah. There it goes.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
That was crazy. Okay, let's do that again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two
Oh yeah,
open
watch
doors,
this.
he entered
This
the
is gonna be
door on his
funny.
left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Watch this, watch this.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yeah, I
That
like
kind
this.
of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
This is what happens when you try to, speed run it.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I gotta admit, this is one of my favorite games. I don't know why I haven't gotten it before.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Come on, chat. Left or right? Should I escape or should I go to factory? Your choice. Left or right? Make your choice. Dun 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 dun. And yeah, I did that one.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I wonder where his office right there. If you look carefully enough, it's right there. Boop.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Again, one of the
Was this the only
endings.
reason he was happy
One of
with
the
his
endings
boring
is
job? That his
in the
emotions had been
escape
manipulated to accept it
is when you turn
blindly?
off the machine.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
So guys,
over
which
another
one?
human life.
Turn it off or
For
turn it on?
he would dismantle
Nah, I'm
the
joking.
controls.
Of course I'm turning it off.
Blackness.
And if y'all have a
And a
game
rising
to
chill of
suggest that I
uncertainty.
go live playing,
Was it
suggest
over?
it right now. You never know, I just might play it.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Man,
Whatever
that was
life he
crazy.
lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What's that?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What does it say? Does our computer say that? I don't get it. Am I supposed to do something? Did I miss something? Does anyone know what this is? Like, what does it do? And if you do, please tell me so I can do that next time. Wait, where's the bucket? There it is. This one I want to do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Actually, I'm trying to get some endings.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'm gonna try that ending again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I'm gonna see if I'm right about something. If I'm right, I'll be weak.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Still don't know what I'm doing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. Giddy but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nah, I think I've got this.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nah, I think I've got this.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, I think I got this.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I wonder what happens when I go to the other doors.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose.
Yep.
Yes, that must
Sounds
be it.
right to me.
What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Unknowing to him, it's actually a game. It's an open world game. But get ready for the walls.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good
Yes.
God, quickly block it off.
No. No.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Okay,
Really wandered
dear.
off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Whoa, what's this?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here.
Anyone
now this
know where this
is
from?
game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Well,
there are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together.
I mean, it kind of looks familiar if you ask me, but I mean, what are the odds?
Here's the ball. Have fun.
Huh. Wow.
It's Rocket League.
What? Yeah. But this looks crazy though. Bum, 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 bum.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Of course I missed.
Here comes another ball. Yes.
Why am I not surprised
that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Well,
are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
That's
right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Bum bum. Where should I go, guys? What is that? Yawn. Bum 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 bum. It's time. I didn't want to do this, but okay.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Dan, there's never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end, there's never the end.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that.
Wait, what? No, I didn't even. Yeah, man. Well, well, finally, something. Hmm. Hmm. Well, what the?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right
Yeah, I'm
now.
so tired.
I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Something I'm supposed to do. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
There's his office
Each
right
bore
there.
the number of an
Why not
employee
to
in the
411?
building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh look, one of them says pirate. It's right above 465. Wait, that's his office. What does that mean? That's weird.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Look, it says
Had
pirate
Stanley
over there,
really
but
been under
it's
someone's
Stanley's
control all
office.
this time?
What
Was
does
this the
that
only reason he
mean?
was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yep.
Oh, Stanley,
Nah.
you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Ah.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more
I don't know
fun,
what I'm
isn't it,
supposed to
Stanley?
do.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left
No
to
idea what
enjoy
I'm supposed
it.
to do.
Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're
Yeah, I have
obliterated.
no idea what I'm doing.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
What am I supposed to do?
Dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why do you think that, Stanley? That this video game will be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Oh, crap.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
Yep,
30
I'm
seconds
done,
until
I'm
a big
done.
boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
No.
Will you cling desperately to your frail
Doesn't be
life,
fun.
or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it
Something.
count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Ah, I messed up. I didn't know what I was doing. And then in the end, it's never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end. I'm only missing a few trophies. Let's see. Don't play Stanley payable for 10 years.
All of
10
his
years?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now watch this.
What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out.
This is the ending you're never gonna see.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
Right
office.
now.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
This is one of the craziest endings I've ever seen.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Hey, I'm gonna jump on
The
Fortnite
bucket
to
is here
see
for you,
what new
Stanley.
skins are coming out.
Everything will be fine.
Well, maybe there's nothing new, so whatever.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose
Welcome.
on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Big back speaking head speaking head speaking head.
I am
speaking
no
head,
big back.
Fire 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 fire.
I am no big back.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything...
Bro, don't lay down. Mount Everest is gonna flood.
Shut up. That is not true. Lies.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want
How
to
could
do
you?
or not want to do?
How
in the first
could
place?
you?
These
Oh yeah,
questions raised
so,
furiously in
why do you
Stanley's
keep on changing your name? I mean, I'm not trying to like judge,
No! He screamed into
like,
the bucket.
At
I'm...
least I didn't find Sonic here. Unamused face, unamused face, unamused face.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire
I'm
world.
surprised
You see, I can't change it.
Trust no one
Oh
except
my god, I didn't
for the
mean it
bucket.
like that. I just mean like, you know, I'm trying to say
But
I'm
here
surprised
was a
that you changed
room
your
Yes, I like
name.
Shadow.
of the operation. Controls
I mean,
labeled
who
with
doesn't
emotions,
really?
happy or sad or
He's a good
content.
character.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
Now watch this.
And as the
This
cold
ending is gonna
reality of his
surprise
past
you,
began to sink in,
cause the door
Stanley
will
decided that
close.
this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would
Bum, bum,
dismantle
bum,
the
bum.
controls for good.
Cat.
Two best friends, Stanley and the
Watch
bucket,
the door
up against the
closing.
world.
3, 2,
They
1.
high-fived
Oh
in a
wait,
really cool way,
I'm
and the
gonna
bucket
get
made a
speak.
sassy comment about taking down the system.
Now watch this. The door's gonna close up.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
This is crazy
Was it over?
because when I found this ending, it was like crazy. I did not believe it.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the
door's
evil
gonna
mind
boom
control
up.
machine. Freedom was now
Nope.
mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one
Really?
they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
Nope.
Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Closed door.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Yep.
Even the facility
Closed.
itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to
told
say
you.
about it. Stanley
The
realized
door's
he
not
would
gonna
never
open.
again leave this very room.
Door
But
just closed.
at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon
Is this
now,
ending?
he was about to find out.
The end is never the end. It's never the end. It's never the end. Whoa, what the? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Welcome
decided to go to
to
the meeting
the
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
whiteboard
memo.
ending. Oh, I like this. I like dog mode. Dog mode activated.
Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was. Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
So, the whiteboard ending, that's surprising. Here's another ending I like.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
It's pretty crazy.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now
I
more
miss
than
you too.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd
Playing
find
a game.
answers. Coming to a staircase,
Yeah.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah? Seriously.
Stepping into his manager's
Ooh, I
office,
love this
Stanley
game.
was once again stunned
I know,
to
it's a
discover
perfect
not
game.
an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
I mean, when I
Was
first
it
found
the
this
bucket
game,
knew
it
all
was
along?
just like,
Was
wow.
the bucket guiding him?
Seriously.
Yes, this is certainly
Can
the
I
most
help you?
logical explanation.
That's my little sister over here. Well, obviously, right? There's another good ending with the bucket. Yep. You Siri.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
A good game. Perfect, you might say.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Drew, no! Just...
The monitors jumped and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket and shook. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Put it in charge.
Had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
If you know that it says pilot, it's actually Stanley's office. Now, if you don't believe me, you see the way it looks? You actually look for his office right there. It looks exactly the same.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Well... Okay.
Fix your mic, buddy.
Fix my mic? Okay, thanks. Drew, go. Go. Go use a different mic. Go. Okay, that should be better. Is that better?
Yeah.
Ah, thanks.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad
go!
or content.
No.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
I like the endings with the bucket.
In horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Yes.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket name was all wrong?
Whoa, what did that
Stanley
do?
marveled at the metal genius in his hand.
Whoa.
The one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
Whoa.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live
So
streams of the
amazing.
silliest birds imaginable. Of all the
This is so
possible
cool.
paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the
Wow.
best.
Cool.
And Stanley
Awesome.
was happy.
Even cooler. Wow. Penguin. Bro. Another bucket adventure. Here we come.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes. I love that bucket.
This is gonna be
Stanley clutched
perfect.
the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley
The
opened
bucket
door on his left
endings.
to go back to the meeting room.
Here we
No,
are to the bucket endings.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
The ending with the buckets. The bucket of endings. A bucket full of endings. A bucket full of endings.
Okay, this is day number 295.
Perfect.
Tape number. I don't even know. I've lost track.
252.
Feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the
Whoa.
less sense
What the?
anything makes.
Seriously?
Sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
Wait. Why is this played in reverse? Is it played in reverse?
It doesn't make sense. There's no
It's on the side for
explanation
reverse,
it.
but what does that mean?
I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Wow.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get it. What's that? Who's there?
Wow, what the? It's not even me. Well. Bro, lower that down. Lower it down. Look. Move back. 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 Come on. Come on. Come on. Continue. 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 No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
We're
to
going
go
for
to
the
meeting
bucket
room.
endings.
Perhaps one man, one
Nope.
bucket, one chance to seize
Nope.
their destiny together.
Nope.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket
I wonder.
telling him that the employee lounge was simply
Let's
the
see what's
place
gonna
to
happen.
be. And here it was. Had
Just
the
gonna do
bucket
this
turned
for
out to be
fun.
correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley
No, I'm
took
just
the
gonna
door on
say
his
that.
left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley
I wonder
did
where
not
that
question
goes.
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Let's see what happens.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Well, what the?
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Oh, that's new.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bum bum bum. Oh, there you are.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
What does that mean?
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Let's see what happens when I don't
Once upon
grab
a
it.
time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Yeah, I tried.
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
Where do you think you're going? There she
Like it would
goes.
be better at moving an amount
Yep.
of water from one
Nope.
room to another.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Oh my God, what
Nope.
am I saying?
Nope.
Better at
Nope.
carrying water from
Nope.
room to room. It's
Nope.
a bucket. It's
Nope.
literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no, I'm having feelings.
No.
The bucket. No,
Nope.
no. What's
Nope.
going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what
Couch.
to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
That took long enough. A different ending and same bucket.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Did someone go try without the bucket? Now, which ending was it again? I can't remember which one was it. I was gonna try and
When
find
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Oh crap,
Perhaps
I don't
he wanted to
remember.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember now.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
That's why I wanted to try without the bucket. See if it gives me something else different.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path.
Oh, look at that. It does give me something
so
different.
far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path
What
that
the?
it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me,
That's
all the
crazy.
absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording. It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's try the confusing ending again.
When Stanley
I'm
came
gonna
to
do
a set
something
of
else
2 open
different.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yep.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door,
Nope.
and got back on track.
Womp womp. Too bad. Then there's never the end, there's never the end, there's
Stanley
never the
didn't want
end,
to
there's
go back
never
to
the
the
end, there's
office.
never the
He
end.
wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right.
Automatically
Why would I have
closes.
ever said it was to the
It didn't want
right?
to open, so that means...
Was I thinking?
Oh,
It's
they
clearly-
knew he was going to try to do that.
Hold on for a minute, please.
They're smart. Soon, guys, I'm going to get my own gaming computer.
Down, left,
Very, very
right.
soon.
Yep, okay.
Shush!
I've got it now.
You.
This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a
Joe,
spoiler.
shush.
Quick, Stanley, close your
No.
eyes. Okay.
Eh.
We
Eh.
just a little bit too
Eh. Eh.
rubbish now. The whole story is unusable. How
thought rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, I'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't want to see. Okay. From the top.
No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Never leave me alone. Stop it.
When Stanley... Wait.
Stop.
What? No.
Leave me alone.
No, restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over. Completely fresh. Everything should be...
No.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with the monitors? Did you lose the story somewhere or...
Yeah. No.
The story was right here just a minute ago. Sure
I win.
Stanley, let's find the story.
No. Oh, what is this? Huh? Wait, what? Does that just go around in a circle?
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
No.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again. But it's better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No.
All of his co-workers are gone. Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, it's worse. I'm not remembering this room. It's possible back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
No. No. No.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
You shut up.
Here it comes.
You shush. Yeah.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's go back the other way and retrace our steps.
Drew, be careful. Show me. Oh my.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
No.
Oh, no. I don't feel right about this at all.
Oh, no.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people are fair and square, and this is not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Never.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the
know
line.
what happened when I get
How
off
simple
the
is that?
line.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay. So there's no off the line. No. Never. Never.
See? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Nope. Here's a thought.
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being by the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is
how's it doing
a
that?
byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
I'm so confused.
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Wait, huh? Wait, did I just go with
I
this?
think what we need right now
Yeah, I
is
went
a
the
bit
wrong
of
way.
music to lighten the mood.
I don't know how I didn't realize I went the wrong way. Yeah. 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 No. Hey. 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 No.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Fascinating, fascinating, yes, okay. Dog mode not enabled, okay.
Wait, we're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Not mine. Nothing different.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
I just say the end is never the end. Every computer, the end is never the end, it's never the end. Huh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
If y'all got anything y'all want me to try, please say it now. Cause I have no idea what to do now. I wasn't expecting
Yet there was
so
not a
little
single
content.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Oh yeah, I forgot one
Stanley
of the
decided to
endings.
go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Aren't they looking familiar?
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that it had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one.
Fortnite dream.
Wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please.
If you haven't, please like.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Up.
Stanley began screaming.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I?
And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay. If you haven't done so already, like, subscribe, please, and thank you. I'm gonna start my Fortnite stream right now. See you later.